It's there. It's just that, I'm doing it for Kitu now.
Also luck.
Yeah, luck. Luck. That's what Kitu did last time.
Can you imagine if Dr. Mabila Mathebula can speak like that and say, you just have to mix this one thing and the next thing.
Extraordinary. I doubt he'll do that. I doubt he'll do that.
But why do you doubt? Is it because it's Dr. Mathebula or what?
Because he wants to sound clear. He wants to be audible. Imagine now if we had to say to be audible. You see?
But do you think Dr. Mathebula says ordinary or ordinary? Or it's like ordinary?
This one is tough because he's the one who told us we've been saying extraordinary and it's extraordinary. that one is tough.
So extraordinary.
Yeah, so since he said extraordinary, maybe it says ordinary.
Now, for a person who's never met Dr. Mabila Mathebula, right? Will this person think that Dr. Mabila Mathebula is tall, short, slender? I nearly said fat.
No, actually, at the book release, a lot of people didn't know who Dr. Mabila Mathebula was.
Yeah.
I got a question of, so he works at a hospital. 1. 2, I got a question of, he's an actual doctor.
Yes.
3,
yeah.
And this was the one. This is the third one. If I'm sick, can I go to him? And I'm thinking, it depends.
Yeah.
Are you sick in the head? Or do you have any flu symptoms or stuff? Which one?
Okay.
Because he is a doctor, but if you're thinking medical practitioner, he can help you if you're sick in the head. He helps a lot of people with matters from the heart. So maybe you're one of those.
It is 1617 right at VMC Planet Radio. Now, Vision is pulling Magandis on Dr. Mathebula. And the good thing about it is Dr. Mathebula does not have any qualms with that. I said he does not have qualms. No?
So that would
No, he does not have qualms with that.
Qualms.
Yeah, man. Today the show is hot, yeah?
Dr. Mabila Mathebula, welcome. This afternoon, how are you doing?
No, I'm fine. And how are you, Mr. Stan and Vision?
We doing extraordinary. I just wanted to say that word. I've been waiting to say it back to you.
Dr. Mabila Mathebula, we are having an Ilogofisio Hippopoknoras Day, and we are having a Gargantuan Day, Dr. Mathebula.
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah, these are low frequent words.
Especially the Gargantuan one.
Welcome once more, Dr. Mabila Mathebula. We are talking about the power of seduction, actually focusing on the ideal lover. Okay, we still have Dr. Mabila Mathebula, there's just some technicalities that actually happened. Dr. Mabila Mathebula, I will start again. I'm saying today we are actually continuing with our topic that we had the previous time, and which is actually the power of seduction, and we are actually focusing, not foxing. Eh?
I thought you came up with another low frequent used word.
No,
that's why
I wanted to say focusing.
Oh, I thought there was a simile for foxing was a simile.
No,
hence I was quiet.
Okay, no, okay, but we are no longer talking about your exes, no?
Which ones are we talking about now? Like the deodorant or the ones that chop trees?
No, we're talking about the power of seduction.
Oh yeah, power of seduction.
And we are focusing on the ideal lover today.
Yes, the ideal lover.
Is it the ideal or ideal?
Ideal.
Dr. Mabila Mathebula, can you help us out? Can you help us out?
I feel like it's the ideal lover.
Dr. Mabila Mathebula, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, the ideal lover. We are still focusing on the power of seduction. And what I've eventually realized is we are all seducers. but maybe we are not even aware that we use seductive tactics in our relationships. But I've realized that we are all seducers in one way or the other.
So, in one way or the other. Now, Dr. Mabila Mathebula, let's also talk about the joys of being young in terms of what we dream about as young people.
Yeah, well, I think being young, there is that perception among young people that you are the controller of the universe. You have got big dreams. You think that you are controlling the universe. But once you become older, you realize that most of the dreams that you had have been deferred or shattered. And then now you have to face reality.
So when you become older, and sometimes those dreams are actually shattered or deferred, right? So there is something that you realize, Dr. Mabila Mathebula. I just want us to repeat that. What is it that you realize?
Well, you realize that you have to face reality now. It's not a question of fantasy. For example, a person might actually say that I don't want to, I would not marry a woman with children. That is, a youthful thinking. And then 20 years down the line, you meet the same person and he's married to a woman who has got 7 children. Now, it's a question of reality. A person who's actually saying that and then 10 years down the line, you realize that that person is married to me or to Stan. Now, you think that you can control things. You have got the ability to control, the environment. But at the end of the day, you realize that you don't have power to control anything. Also, as the Bible says in Psalm 24, that no one owns anything. The world belongs to God, and everything that's within the world, belongs to God. So you don't actually own anything. There are some forces that are at work.
Now, what is it that an ideal lover thrives on, Dr. Mabila Mathebula?
Yeah. Last week we spoke about a rake. We spoke about a rake who's a man who's married and who has got multiple sexual partners. That's what we were talking about last week. And then now, we talk about an ideal lover. An ideal lover he's a person who has actually done some research on you. He knows, what your dreams were, and then how those dreams were shattered. And then now he capitalizes on that. He comes to your life and tries to resurrect those dreams. And then once he starts, resurrecting those dreams, you'll be captured.
And when you actually have been captured by this particular person, it is through the research that this particular person actually have made, Dr. Mabila Mathebula. Now, is there any example that you would like to give us?
Yeah, for example, your lifelong dream could have been competing in the beauty contest and become a Miss South Africa or a Miss World. But you had parents who prevented you from doing that and saying that you don't have to be Miss South Africa, you don't have to participate in beauty contests because you'll end up being corrupt, men will use you, you'll be used and abused. And that dream has been shattered. It's something that you wanted. You look at your reflection in the mirror as a woman and you realize that I'm beautiful and I can compete. You look at your figure, it's a perfect figure and the like. But now you have got parents or you have got a father who says, no, my daughter is not going to participate in those things. Now, it's a dream that you had, but, it's a youthful dream and it was shattered. And then now, okay.
No, it's fine, Dr. Mabila Mathebula.
And now you meet a man who knows that background. And then this man would actually, for example, take you to Sun City when there's a beauty pageant, to Mauritius for Miss World, Miss Universe, and he's trying by all means to, to resurrect that dream. He buys you magazines in terms of that and discuss that and blah, 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 And then from there you say, but this is an ideal lover because she knows exactly what I'm looking for. And this person is not necessarily interested in you. This person is trying to get you, but he actually uses, the shattered dreams to come into your life.
And then bringing that fantasy back into your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, do we have, for instance, some wisdom from maybe the Bible? Any biblical maybe reference that we can make?
Yeah, for example, I spoke about a woman, but let's talk about a man. Maybe your dream was to become a movie star, and you could not be a movie star. And then you come across a person who knows that, Vision's dream was to become a movie star. And then now, when you go out with this person, now she takes you to the movies. You go to the movies. And then DSTV, you have got a channel on movies. You discuss movies. And now you realize, hey, this person really understands exactly who I am. And then now you get captured. And the example that I gave the example of Solomon. Solomon was a wise person, as we were told, And then he had all these women, but there was no woman who actually spoke to him about his wisdom. But the Queen of Sheba came from Africa, from Ethiopia, and said, but I've heard about you, I've heard about your wisdom and the like. And then at the end of the day, Solomon was actually captured. Because, although he was wise, but no one spoke about his wisdom. No one spoke about, his wisdom, his universal wisdom. But this woman came from Ethiopia and a black woman for that matter. And then Solomon was captured by the Queen of Sheba.
So, but in this case, Solomon actually wanted to have somebody that he can talk to, as much as he actually had all these other lovers, right, Dr. Mathebula?
Yeah, because the other lovers, they were talking about other things. But this one was talking about, his wisdom. Although he was a wise person, but the lovers didn't actually talk about his wisdom. But this one specifically spoke about his wisdom. And I mean, anyone who talks about, your interest, you'll be interested in that person. Like you and Vision, you are in the musical field. If you meet a person, who will actually talk to you about music and the like, you'll be interested in such a person because you realize that you are sharing something in common. This is an ideal lover. We can talk about, like we can talk about different artists. We can talk about, you can talk from A to Z with this person. This person understands you. This person understands your needs. That's why we call this person an ideal lover.
Yeah. Now, Dr. Mabila Mathebula, now let's talk about an ideal lover who actually thrive on true shattered dreams, not fake.
Yeah, true shattered dreams. Yeah. For example, as I'm saying, I've been talking about, true shattered dreams. For example, you wanted to be a movie star, but you couldn't.
Yes.
But you do have, fake dreams. Like a person would actually appear on a show, Kumbule Kaya, and say, you know what, I wanted to be a doctor or I wanted to be a professor and the like, but unfortunately, I could not be a professor because my father, my mother was absent. Only to find that this person is just actually saying something that is not true. You give that person a book, the person does not read a book. You ask, how many books did you read? Because if you wanted to be a professor or if you wanted to be a doctor, you'd be reading books, but you don't read books. Now, such a person is a fake. It's a fake person, because she's not authentic. Now, an ideal lover capitalizes on something authentic, on the dream that you had, and that dream was shattered.
Now, what is it that an ideal lover is attempting to bring back now, Dr. Mathebula?
Yeah, he's trying to bring back the fantasies, because you always fantasize about the future. I should have been this. I should have been like that. Blah blah blah. And then the aim of an ideal lover is to work around that fantasy. To bring that fantasy to life. To life. For example, as I said to you, you wanted to be a beauty queen. You wanted to participate in beauty contests. He takes you to Sun City, takes you to Mauritius. He buys you books. You discuss that and blah blah blah. He actually buys you a movie where the beauty pageants and the like. Now that fantasy, you can actually see it is coming. You feel somehow that you are being resurrected. You see that this person really understands exactly who I am, and then you become attached to such a person. And Casanova used to do that. That was his strategy. He was an ideal lover. You'd actually make research about someone, and then from there capitalize on that. If he knew that you were interested in literature or something like that, he'll actually capitalize on that. That was Casanova's style of capturing women.
Which is actually very, very interesting, Dr. Mabila Mathebula. Now, today, Dr. Mabila Mathebula, we have a vocabulary cabinet. What do we have in the vocabulary cabinet, Dr. Mathebula?
Yeah, we've got the word, predilection, which is a noun, which means a special liking that has become a habit.
A special liking that has become a habit. So, okay. In other words, Dr. Mabila Mathebula, when you talk about, I know I'm putting you on a spot now.
No. I'm not on the spot. Yeah.
Okay. So now, what are habits?
What are habits?
Yes, habits.
I think if you want to know more about habits, you have to read the book by Steve Covey, the 7 habits of highly effective
7
people.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Now there he talks about different habits, that people are engaged in, and I think there's another one that he has actually written, the 8 habits.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. For highly successful people, Dr. Mathebula.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, the reason I was asking this question is that predilection, you said is a special liking that has become a habit. So, habit, can we then say habit are those things that we acquire over time that when they build up on us, then it becomes like a second nature, things that we do?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's how Stephen Covey puts it in the 7 habits of highly. A habit can be negative or positive.
Oh yes.
You can have a negative habit or you can have a positive habit. It's like participation. Participation can either be negative or positive. Now the same applies to habits.
Now, Dr. Mabila Mathebula, do we have an example?
Yeah. I think Vision will actually take this as a compliment. Vision has a predilection for blonde women.
Vision has a predilection of blonde women, Dr. Mabila Mathebula. Dr. Mabila Mathebula, thank you so very much, right? I want to say next week, Dr. Mabila Mathebula, we are going to go into the finals of the VMC second to none Rap Master Battle. And in this Rap Master Battle, we're going to find a winner. And we will have 3 categories of winning. First prize, second prize, and third prize. Where will you be next week, Dr. Mabila Mathebula?
No, I might be there. And what you're saying, as I said to you when we started the program, I also realize that we are all seducers. What you are saying is a seductive message.
On that note, thank you so very much, Dr. Mabila Mathebula. As always, we really, really appreciate your insights, Dr. Mabila Mathebula. And thank you so very much. Up until we see you next week, Sunday, and that is a seduction.
Okay, thanks, guys, and see you next week.
Thank you so very much.
Even next week, we're talking about seduction as well.
Oh, we're still talking about seduction, Dr. Mabila Mathebula. No, before you leave, Dr. Mabila Mathebula, there is actually a question here.
From Prince, I know.
No, it's not from Prince. Today, Prince is not here. Let me just see the name, Dr. Mabila Mathebula. Okay, it's not signed. It says, I am actually struggling with the issue of seduction, and at times I'm not even aware that this is actually seduction. But sometimes disappear. Okay, sometimes they take me for dinner, and then we talk. And then we come back, and I think he likes me. I think he likes me. And then 1 month, 2 months down the line, I'm not sure whether we are an item or not. Okay, that is, I don't know if it is a question, but it is written like that, Dr. Mathebula.
Yeah, well, I think it's also a good statement. But I think the point that I'm actually making is I've realized that we are all, we are all, seducers. We seduce people, and we're being seduced, And then, as I said to you, that, for example, I spoke today about an ideal lover, You'd actually find that in your relationship, you did the same thing, looking at a person's past and then pouncing on that, And then I think as we proceed with this topic, I want people to discover themselves, as to whether, like, for example, I know Vision. I'm not trying to be, prophetic, but I know Vision is now actually placing himself and say, but am I a rake? Am I an ideal? Am I at the end of the day, you need to place yourself and say, but this is who I am. And then maybe I've been doing this thing, but I was not even aware that I was seducing another person, or maybe this person seduced me and I didn't realize that I was being seduced. Now, what we are trying to do now is to create an awareness. And I like exactly what she has actually said. I think at the end of the day, she should actually realize, what as to whether the person was seducing her or was she seducing him. As we go along with this program, it's just an awareness session.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Mabila Mathebula. We really appreciate. We'll see each other next week.